Hello, welcome to a mat Pilates class with me. My name is Melanie. If we haven't met before, I'm your Pilates teacher and my therapist taking you through your session today. You are going to need your mat with some space around it and a cushion, please. No other equipment required. Once you go and grab that, meet me down in a 4-point kneeling position with your pillow super close because we're going to pick it up in just a second. So, 4-point kneeling position, we spread our fingertips nice and wide. We have our knees hip distance apart underneath our hips. I'm going to go into a few rounds of cat-cow. So from here we inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And then as we exhale, we scoop the belly, rounding through our back, pressing the mat away, keeping our chin tucked in. 2 more each way. Inhale to lift the chest, shining it forward, dropping the belly. Exhale, scoop. Last one, inhale, lower. Exhale, scoop. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to rock back our hips down towards our heels, still keeping that rounded spine, and then come back up to a 4-point kneeling position. 2 more just like that. Keep pressing the mat away, keep scooping the belly, leaning back. Last one, scoop, rock back, and bring yourself forward, just dropping down into a neutral position. From here, your right hand sweeps underneath, and I want you to press your left hand into the ground, rotating open, rotating through that mid-spine. Bring that right hand back onto the mat, left side this time. Reach it through, press that right hand into the ground to help you rotate open. Good. Slowly come back to that 4-point kneeling position. You are going to need your pillow. We're going to come up to a standing position now. You're going to place it between your knees and just give it a nice quick squeeze. Okay, taking that nice narrow stance, keeping that pillow nice and squeezed between your knees. What we're going to do is go down into a narrow squat. So what I'm going to get you to do is send your hips back, reach your arms forward, bending your knees like you're going to sit down onto a chair. And then as you exhale, you stand up and you just sweep your hands back down by your sides. So a nice little narrow squat, keeping that pillow pressed between those knees. So we're engaging through our inner thighs as well as trying to shift our hips back as far as we can. And then we use our big strong glute muscles to push the hips forward and stand up nice and tall. So we lower and we lift. Good. We reach the hands forward just so we can find some length through our posterior chain. So that fascial line that runs all the way down your back of your legs. So we can try and lengthen through our lats as we push our hips back. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press. Let's really push those hips forward, squeeze those glutes so we can stand up nice and tall. You don't have to have too much of a squeeze on that cushion, but it does keep our knees and ankles in line as we go down into this narrow squat. Keeping the arches of your feet lifted, and make sure you press through your heels when you stand up. So you might even want to try and wriggle your toes. Make sure all your weight is back into those heels. Good, we've got 3 more. Adjust that pillow as you need. It likes to shift around as we go into our movement. Last one, bend and lift. Good. Keep squeezing the pillow if you can. I'm going to go into a roll down stretch. So you tuck your chin and you roll your feet, or your hands down towards your feet, should I say. Bending your knees as much as you need to. I want you to plant your hands down onto the ground. And I'm going to get you to walk your hands out and drop the knees into a bear hold position. From here, we can lose the pillow once your feet are down onto the ground. What we're going to do here is tuck the toes under. Think about lifting that chest up and away from the mat. Draw your belly button in, and can you hover your knees? Good. We hover here for 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees back down. Now I want you to lift the hips up nice and high. Keep the knees bent. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Knees should be bent a lot. And then from here we can roll back up. Don't need your pillow for this part. Lifting, roll those shoulders back, and we go down again. Tuck the chin, peel that spine off the imaginary wall behind you. Bend your knees so your hands can reach onto the mat. We walk the hands forward, drop the knees onto the mat, 4-point kneeling position. Lift that chest up and away. Can we hover the knees? Good. We hover for 3, for 2, for 1. Lift the knees, lift the hips, walk the hands in, knees are bent a lot. Your chest should be resting down onto your thighs. From here, tuck that chin, slowly stack that spine back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Good. Last roll down, we meet back in our 4-point kneeling position for our bear holds. Third and final time. Bend the knees as you need to. Find the length in the back of the legs first. Bend the knees, walk the hands out, spread the fingertips nice and wide, resting the knees down, 4-point kneeling position. Lift the chest, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Nice. This time what I'm going to get you to do is we're going to rotate both knees over to one side, back to the center. Can we go to the other side? Back to the center. Good. So we're up onto our tippy toes. Our upper body staying nice and still, hopefully. Can we get that rotation through the spine? Twisting those hips from side to side. Guide with the knees. Both knees go one way, then the other way. Can be a really small range of motion. Don't have to swing very far. Nicely done. Can we go for 3? For 2, nice, pivot on those toes. Last one, lower the knees. Come up off those wrists. We're just going to give the wrists a little bit of a shake. Well done. We have now got an exercise that I like to call kick sit. So it's going to be really, again, working through that bear hold position. So working through the shoulders and working through our core. So if you ever need to give it a rest with this exercise, just go back to that bear hold, lift and lower of the knees. Otherwise, give these kick sits a go. So back into that 4-point kneeling position, tuck those toes under. Good. From here, what we do is we lift our knees up into our bear hold. Now what I want you to do is shift your weight over. We'll start to shift your knees over to the left. Lift the left hand up, and can you kick the right foot through? Okay, so my point of contact now is my right hand and my left foot, and I'm lifting up and away from the ground. Okay, so everything's lifting up, but I'm still trying to slide my leg through and drop my hips, okay? Then I come back through my bear hold. You can drop the knees if you like. I'm going to do the other side. So bear hold first. Can you shift that weight, kick the leg through, twist back to the bear hold, lower the knees. Good. Give it a go, a couple each way. If you're quite familiar with this exercise, you don't have to drop the knees. You can just go straight to the bear hold, smooth transition over to the other side. Move nice and slowly here. We're just going for more of a fluid, smooth movement. Seeing if we can transfer our weight and really keep nice and strong through that stabilizing arm. Really rely on that leg, okay? Flat foot, kick it through. Otherwise, rest those knees down between each kick through, okay? Rest the knees down, lift back up, and rotate. Good. Can we give it one more go each way, okay? Lift up, kick through, rotate back. Lucky last one for me. Kick through, rotate, rest those knees down. Bring the big toes together, knees out wide. Sink it back for a child's pose stretch. Resting that forehead down onto the mat if it can reach, or you can grab your pillow if you like for a little bit more comfort. Basically sinking the hips down and reaching those arms away. Taking a few deep breaths. Any movement that you might like, reaching over to one side or rocking the hips. See if you can soften and get a little bit closer to the ground on every exhale breath. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. Give those shoulders a nice big roll for me. They've already worked hard and we're just getting started. From here, we are coming forward into a push-up position, option to be on your knees or on your toes. So come over back into that 4-point kneeling position. You want to take your hands quite wide, so probably to the edges of your mat. And you want to step 1 foot back, starting off in your high plank. So you can option to do your push-ups from this position, tucking the tailbone under, scooping in through the belly button. Otherwise, just dropping down onto your knees and you should be in the right position there. So the torso should be nice and straight, should be able to squeeze your bottom and your chest should be just above the level of your hands. And then from here, I like to squeeze my feet together, engaging through my legs. I'm going to slowly lower on an inhale breath, and then we exhale, press up. If you like, you just need to play around with your hand position. You might need to turn your hands out a little bit wider. You might want to go for a narrow push-up using your triceps a little bit more. Just finding a hand position that suits you really well. We're only going to be here for another 15 seconds. So resting at the top as much as you need to. Inhale to lower, exhale to press. We're just working on our push-up technique here. Scoop up through the belly button. Keep everything nice and supported and switched on. Inhale, lower, exhale, press. Can we keep our chin tucked in as well? Think about lengthening through the spine as much as you can, all the way through to your neck. Good. 2 more if we can. Inhale, lower, exhale, press. Good. Scoop up through that belly button, squeeze the glutes. Last one. Inhale, exhale, and then again coming off those wrists, sitting back, give those shoulders a nice big roll. Good job. Okay. Okay, we're going to need our pillow again. We're meeting on our back. We've got some pelvic curls here. So, resting down, squeezing that pillow between your knees, walking your feet nice and close so they're stacked theoretically underneath those hips or in line with your hips. We're just going to place our hands out to the side. You can turn your palms to face up just to relax and open up through the shoulders. What I want you to do here is engage through the belly button, so draw the tummy in. We want to tuck our tailbone under so we find this length through our lower part of our spine. Give your pillow a nice big squeeze, engage through those glutes and slowly lift those hips all the way up towards the ceiling if you can. Perfect. You can use your hands as a little bit of a reference if you need to just lift your hips or make sure your hips are nice and straight. Then from here, we're going to slowly roll that spine back down. Nice big roll from the top of your spine or from where your back is lifted all the way down towards the tailbone, last thing to touch. Good. Tuck the tailbone under, that thing lifts first, and then slowly place that spine back down. Tailbone's the last. Good. Squeeze those glutes, nice strong lift, and relax back down. Good. We exhale to press the hips up. We inhale to roll the hips back down. Good. 3 more just like that. Lift. Using those inner thighs to squeeze that pillow. Good. Lift for 2. Slowly lower. Good. Last one, lift and hold for me. Good. Now instead of that rolling motion of the spine, I just want you to fold at the hips, lower the back or the hips down, keeping the back nice and flat. Not quite all the way before pressing straight back up again. So fold at the hips and then press the hips back up. Good. Fold and lift. Nice. Not lowering those hips quite all the way, probably only about halfway before lifting back up. Good. Can we keep those feet nice and narrow? Keep that pillow between the legs. Slowly fold, lowering down. Exhale to press. Good. Hopefully getting that engagement through the back of the legs, through the inner thighs. Use those glutes. Good. Keep that spine nice and flat, nice and straight. Good. Can we go for 3? Lower and lift for 2. Last one. Lower, lift, and then roll that spine all the way back down to your resting position. Take the pillow out, and we just want to switch those legs from side to side, relaxing through the glutes, through the legs and the pelvis, releasing through that lower back as much as you can. Excellent job. We're going to stay onto our back. We're going to go into tabletop preparation. So from here, I want you to inhale, lift one leg to tabletop position. So that's with our knees bent to 90 degrees and our knees stacked above our hip. Can you exhale and draw the belly button in first? Hold that contraction as you lift the other leg up to tabletop position. Once you're here, you should be able to hold that contraction through your lower belly or through your abdominals, and it should feel like you're nice and supported in this position. You're working quite hard, but there's nothing sort of moving around. When we lift that leg, we haven't let our tummy bulge, we haven't let our lower back arch. We're able to sort of lock that core into place and hold our legs in tabletop. Can we place that first leg back down and then relax and place the second leg back down, okay? We're gonna lift the second leg first. So inhale, lift to tabletop. Draw the belly button in, push that lower back down towards your mat, then lift the second leg, hopefully feeling nice and supported. It's how our tabletop should feel every time we come into it. Place that first leg back down and then the second leg. Good, we're gonna hold on this third one, okay? So inhale, lift to tabletop. Exhale, belly button draws in, flattening through the lower back to lift the other leg up to tabletop. Perfect. From here, I'm going to get you to glue your legs together. Option to then grab the pillow again and squeeze against the pillow if it's a little bit more comfortable than meeting back in this tabletop position. We are going to take our arms out nice and wide for a little bit of support. We are going to rock our legs over to the left-hand side of the room, lifting up the right hip. Then I want you to use your abdominals and then exhale breath to draw that hip back down onto the mat. Go the other way. Take both knees away to the right, and then now draw that left hip back down onto the mat. Good. Try not to draw the knees in towards your chest. Try to keep the knees glued together. Allow that hip to lift up. That way, keeping the hips nice and squared with the knees. Draw back down. Getting that rotation through the spine. Hopefully keeping the shoulders down onto the mat the best that you can. So that rotation coming through that mid to lower part of the spine. Good, and we're using our obliques to really draw that hip and that rib cage back down. Excellent. All you're gonna think about is keeping those knees, those legs glued together. Allow that hip to rock up onto the other hip. Exhale, draw back down. Good, couple more here. One more each way. Let's go over to that left side. Draw that hip back down. Right side. Good, then from here you can lower one leg, the other leg, and just switching those legs from side to side. Just a mini break, we're going back into our tabletop position, okay? You don't need your pillow for this one. We inhale, lift one leg to tabletop, belly button goes in, and we float the other leg up to tabletop. This time arms go up towards the ceiling and we've got our dead bug. So we'll just do the arms first of all. So right hand goes above your head, draw it back in towards the center. Left arm goes overhead, draw that back in. Good. Right leg reaches out nice and long and draw that back to tabletop. Left leg this time extends, find the length back to tabletop. Can we do opposite arm, opposite leg now? So right arm, left leg, or vice versa, right leg, left arm. Good. From here we extend, and this is where we ask our core to work quite hard. When we move our limbs away from the body, we need our core to be nice and strong and supportive and draw us back into our safe place when we're back home. So extend and draw back in. We really want to focus on not letting our back arch through this exercise. If it is arching, I just want you to extend your leg up quite high towards the ceiling and not lower it down towards the mat too much. You can play around with the depth of the arm and the leg as you feel a little bit more control and stable through the center, through the core. Good. The way you can really engage is fully exhale. So let all the air out. Feel your ribs sink in and down, and you make that connection through the ribs towards the hips. Once you hold that connection, you'll be able to extend and feel a little movement through the spine. Again, exhale, draw everything back in, draw the belly button in, reset. Hold that contraction on the inhale. Exhale, come back to the center. Perfect. Couple more here, each way. Good. Last two. Extend. Last one. Good. I want you to hug your knees in towards your chest if you can. Just tracing little circles, a couple each way, a couple the other way. Alrighty, from here we're going to meet back in tabletop position, making your way there as quick or as slow as you need to. We're going to reach our hands up towards the ceiling, and we're going to exhale, ab curl up and reach our hands down past our hips towards our toes. From here, option to keep the hands reaching, or you can place one hand or both hands behind the back of the head if you need a little bit of support there. What we're going to be doing now is extending that right leg out long, back to tabletop, left leg out long, back to tabletop. And we're just alternating here from side to side. I want you to keep reaching through both or one hand. Reach the fingertips towards the toes. That'll keep the ab curl nice and high. Keep your chin tucked in. You should be looking towards the toes at all times. Don't let that head lift. Good. Moving as quick or as slow as you like. Keep lifting those shoulder blades up off the mat for me, okay? Not here for too much longer. Find the length through the front of the leg. Good. Let's go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Hug those knees in. Relax the head, neck and shoulders down. Trace those knees in opposite directions. And then change those directions. Couple each way. Nicely done. Coming up to a seated position now. Right, now in our seated position, we're going to need our cushion again. We are squeezing it between our knees just so we can really help to engage through our inner thighs, and it will help lock in our lower body. We're going into some ab rollback. So your feet are just out in front of you, knees are bent, as I said, squeezing that pillow, and let's lift our hands up out in front of us. From here, we're going to tuck our tailbone under, scoop through the belly, reach the arms forward and start to roll back as much as you can, really starting to feel the abdominals kick in at this point. Try to really curve the spine and make a nice round C shape. Reach the hands forward as much as you can, relaxing the shoulder blades down and back. Once you're at that sticky point where you feel like you can't go back any further unless you lie down completely, I want you to think about drawing your ribs back over the top of your hips. Reach forward, sit up nice and tall onto those sit bones, okay? So spine is nice and straight, and then we go again. We tuck our tailbone under, we scoop the belly, and we glide our ribs in and down towards our hip bones, reaching forward, rolling back as much as you can, and then exhale, bring the ribs back over the hips. Couple more just like this, moving nice and slowly, and we're really trying to find that limit. Relax the shoulder blades down and back, reach through the fingertips, sitting up nice and tall on those sit bones when you curl back up. We're just squeezing that pillow gently. You can assist on the way back up. As I said, just keeping those legs nice and still, keeping them active in this movement. Your gaze should just be forward, should be keeping the chin tucked in. Rolling back as much as you can. Feel those shakes and those little wobbles, and then bring the rib cage back over the hips. So really reach through the hands, almost guiding through the shoulders, okay? As soon as we try to keep our back straight, we'll start to use our back and we'll lose the core connection, and it'll just be a lot harder to curl up. Good, emphasis on the word curl. Tuck the tailbone under, scoop the belly, and then work on that ab roll up. Whew. Let's go for 2 more. Can we lower down? Excellent. Exhale to curl back up. We're going to hold down on this next one, so make sure you pick a spot that you can maintain. You might not roll back just as far. From here, I want you to lift 1 foot up off the mat. Lower that foot back down. Can you extend the other leg? Lower. Good. Alternate here. Kick it out. Keep reaching for the toes. Keep the shoulders forward. Keep scooping the belly in. Bring the rib cage in a little bit further. Try to get your rib cage to touch the top of your hips. Good. Let's kick it out for 3, for 2, for 1. This time, instead of curling up, can we continue to curl all the way back down? Nicely done. You can rest your arms above your head if you want to stretch out through your belly, or you can just rock those knees from side to side. Get a little bit of a stretch. We're going to stay onto our back, and we're going to work a little bit more into our obliques, so you don't need the cushion for this next part. We want to bend our knees, bring our feet just underneath our knees hip distance apart. We're going back into that tabletop preparation. So we inhale 1 leg up to tabletop. We exhale, draw our belly button in, now float our other leg up. We're going to place our hands behind the back of the head this time. Let's finish off nice and strong with this core work, okay? So I want you to exhale, curling up, and then I'm going to get you to rotate your right elbow over towards your left knee. From here, option to extend that right leg out nice and long. Back to tabletop, rotate back to the center. Option here to lower out of your ab curl, or let's go straight over to the other side. Option to extend the left leg, back to tabletop before lowering down. So again, we exhale, curl up, rotate, extend the leg as an option to the center, other way, center, and lower. Whew, we have 3 more just like that, okay? Let's exhale, curl, rotate and extend, center, rotate, center, and lower. Good. Exhale, curl, rotate, rotate, and down. Last one, curling up, rotate, option to extend, lower in the middle if you need to, other way, lower, and let's hug those knees in towards your chest. Send the knees in opposite directions. Nice. Reverse the circles, other way. Good job. Resting those feet down onto the mat. We're going up into tabletop 1 more time. Inhale, you know the drill. Exhale, float that other leg up to tabletop position. Perfect. We are leaving our upper body down onto the mat this time. What I want you to do is split the knees, but keep the ankles together. Can we flex the feet this time? So my ankles are together, my toes are pointing up towards the ceiling because I'm flexing my foot, and I'm squeezing my knees out to the side of the room. Perfect. From here, I need you to even bring your knees a little bit closer in towards your chest, so you can draw your belly button in and keep your lower back flat onto the mat, okay? That is the aim of this exercise, that your spine does not move. I want you to exhale, press your legs out, squeezing the inner thighs together. Toes are out wide, ankles are together. Bend the knees, bring the heels back in closer towards you. Exhale, press. Inhale, that little froggy leg position. You can then work on the height of your legs. So my legs are going almost straight up towards the ceiling. That way I can keep my lower back on the ground. I might want to try to extend them a little bit closer towards the mat. I'm sort of picking a limit that I really feel like my abs work quite hard to hold my lower back down as I extend the legs. To make it easier, you lift the legs up towards the ceiling. See if you can find that middle ground where you can feel like your abs are trying their hardest to hold on. And then we're getting that nice little inner thigh burn. We've been indirectly using them this whole class. Good, imagine zipping those inner thighs together. Good, and release. Zip and release. Squeeze those heels together for me. Exhale to straighten, inhale to bend. Can we go for 5? Good, 4 more. 3, excellent. 2, lucky last 1. And hug those knees in. Good job. You can trace little circles if you like. You can place your legs down onto the mat. We are going to finish by stretching out. So meeting me up in a seated position. We are going to extend one leg out nice and long. I'm going to take my right leg option to do whatever leg best suits you. We want to just slowly lift up nice and tall first and then start to lean over that leg. So we should be able to get a little bit of a lower back stretch on our left side and then feeling hopefully that hamstring of that leg that's out nice and straight. I'm just grabbing onto wherever I can on my leg, trying to find length, as I said, through one side, and leaning forward will bring on that hamstring stretch. Good. We always try to soften a little bit more on that exhale breath. Good. Last breath here. Slowly coming up. Let's bring the soles of our feet together and we're just going to rock into that little inner thigh stretch. So I just like to drop one knee down as the other leg lifts, drop the other knee down. Once you're feeling like you've warmed up through both sides, see if you can gently drop both knees out to the side. Sit up nice and tall first and then you might want to lean forward, aiming to get a little stretch through those inner thighs, maybe a little bit through the lower back if you're feeling a little bit tight there. You can walk your heels or your feet out away from you a little bit more if that feels nicer, around the front of the hips there. Excellent job. Let's take the left leg or that other leg out nice and long this time, sitting up nice and tall. And then can we lean over that straight leg, placing the hands wherever they land, lengthening now through my right side back and hopefully getting a little bit of a stretch down that left leg. Good, reaching up and over, trying to soften and sink down on that exhale breath. Last breath here. Slowly walk yourself all the way up. Good job. Let's just take our legs out nice and long. Can we draw some circles with our ankles? I'm taking the feet in opposite direction to each other and change. Nicely done. Lying down onto your back for me, please. I'm going to get you to straighten one leg out along the mat, or option to keep it bent. Let's lift this other leg up towards the ceiling, trying to straighten as much as you can, supporting through the back of the leg, and then slowly bend that heel in. Keep the foot flexed if possible, otherwise you can relax. You're just going to try and work that knee straight as you can. Good. It might be a little bit shaky. Don't push it too much. If you can't get the knee straight, that's okay. And try to slowly release bending that knee. Nicely done. We'll do 2 more little kick outs. Last one. And hug that knee in towards your armpit. So take the other leg nice and long now and pull that knee across the body towards the armpit, as I said. Good. Extend that leg out nice and long. Let's just do the other side. We are nearly done here. Support through the hamstring. Kick that leg up towards the ceiling. Slowly bend. Kick. Good. 3 more on this side. Just slowly working into that leg. Kick. Lucky last one. Kick. Hug that knee in towards the armpit, pull it across the body. One hand on the ankle, one hand on the outside of that knee there. Take the other leg nice and straight. Perfect. Feel free to stay in this stretch as long as you need to, slowly making your way up. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. If you're enjoying them, feel free to check out the other classes we have available, and check out the website as well. You can become a member and see the unlimited library that we have created, and I look forward to seeing you on your mat next time.